Let's take a look at project 5-16, and when we look at this, the parts for this, we're going to start to develop some strategies. So when I look at these pieces, let's see if I can get my drawing tools up, and let's pick a color that's not red. When we look at these parts, we could draw this profile, and if we were in the 2D world, we would probably also include that line there for some division. Let's go to green, or we could draw around the front profile, and that would could also include the division. And I forgot to mention, this one would probably be going this way, where this one we would be extruding that way. Right? And then I would say my preference in looking at the this piece is that we would draw this L shape, and we would be able to get quite a bit of that geometry, and then we would be taking the extrusion this way. Alright, so one of the things that I noticed when I'm looking at this is that we're missing a few dimensions, and I mentioned previously that one of the things I like about this this book is that it has, let me go ahead and erase my existing scribble, that it maybe missed some dimensions, or there are issues where you're going to have to make decisions. So there's an assumption that this 30, oh, I'm not freehanding, let's do it this way, this 30 also corresponds to that dimension. Another notice is that we have a radius of 2 places, and this one looks a little bit bigger. And when we come across, oops, let's see if I can get it to draw that line. I don't know if it kicked off or... I turned it off. There we go. And if I bring that line across, we have a little bit of a difference. So it almost looks like this radius is maybe 15 and this is 12, but obviously they're not on the same line. So where this one, we can assume that the radius of 12, oh, I'm still in the line command. Let me get back to freehand. That the this radius is 12, this one being 15, that if these are at the center of those radiuses, then it comes back to our locating for our centers. Alright, so the drawing and the drawing dimension typically has priority, and the other thing would be that it's not accounting for that radius and that radius if we are at 12. So radius of 12, probably 4 places. The other thing is 7 times the spacing of 20, and we have 10, 2 places. Those look a little bit smaller, but we're going to go with the diameter of 10. Oh, in 2 places. Then that means that these guys aren't called out. So if I was guessing or having to make a decision, we're looking at a diameter of 6 and 8 places. And that's not looking too great, but you get the idea. Alright, and then for position, we have the 7.96, 19.45 off the back. We'll identify some of those just on our first look, and be able to address some of those issues as we go. So let me erase those. And I need to get out of the draw real quick so I can zoom up to the next one. So those are going to be a Boss base extrude. We can see the exploded. Let's take a quick look at the follower. Alt, there we go, maybe. And let's find a different color for this one. I got a lag, there we go. Alright, so they're saying the crank 50, follower 80, we're going to have 3 separate parts with our part numbers in our 2024 material. Probably not that common. 6061 is going to be the most readily available, with a 5052 or 7075 being after that. So we'll probably update that material to a 6061 T6 aluminum. We have a diameter of 10 for the hole, and then a radius of 9 is going to put us at 18 on the diameter, and it helps just to kind of identify radius or diameter. Radius of 5 to blend, and then we'll want to make one of these, and so I don't have to reproduce all the geometry, is we'll do a save as, and then change the dimension, and then save as to the coupler. All right, and then don't know that we'll do an introduction. Probably for the optional portion, we'll go into configurations where this will remain one part with 3 dimensions. All right, the pin, whenever we're looking at these pins, we could draw the first circle, that would be here, and extrude up that distance, and then draw the next circle and extrude up that distance, and then the next circle and extrude up that distance. That gives me 3 separate features. Or we could draw a center line, and then 1/4 of the profile, not to scale. And when this revolves around this center section, it's going to give us that that geometry. So that would be probably my preference. And the same thing, since this is just a little bit bigger on the pin 1, we'll just do a save as, and the only dimension we're really looks like we're changing is the 14. So we'll do a quick check that got all of the pieces. All right, so that goes into 17. So that looks like we have kind of a quick glance, see if we can identify any problems before they arise and we get into the actual design. And as far as old amalgamated, we'll probably put our name or something a little more descriptive. And I got a kick out of the debased or debast letters and the deboss. So we'll talk about picking fonts and putting letters into the sketch, and you can pretty much put what you want there. All right. So next step will be to get into the software and start with the design.